Welcome to another Makerspace how-to. This is for our Bambu X1 Carbons. First, we're going to look at how to export your mesh from any 3D program. You're going to be able to select your object, save as mesh. You want to make sure it's in STL and millimeters, and you want to make sure you're only exporting one object at a time. So now we're going to open up Bambu Studio. This is the icon here. Just double-click that, and then we're going to go to the Prepare tab. Click on that. And then our standard settings are Bambu X1, of course. We're going to be using on most printers the textured PEI plate. We want the PLA basic. You can go ahead and click on the white if you want. That's our standard color. And also you should be running at 0.2 millimeters standard resolution. Now at this point we want to bring in your 3D mesh. So go to the rectangle with the little plus icon and select your STL file, and there you have it. Now, for the views to fly around it, you can hold the left mouse button to rotate, and if you hold the right mouse button, you can go from left to right, and if you have a scroll dial, you can zoom in and out. Now, at this point, you can use the clone command to multiply your object or mesh if you like. Just right-click, click on the clone, and then just tell it how many copies you want. Now, you may want to wait till you put on supports and everything else before you clone it. It might simplify things. Now, you can bring in multiple mesh objects. You always want to save as separate STLs, but just click on the import again, click on your other STL, and it'll come in. Now, at this point, you do want to move it, so select the move command and move it at least a 1/4 inch away. We get more into the move command in a bit. Okay, so now we're going to show you how the move command works in case you need to move your object around. First click the object, then click on the move icon, then just grab the end of the arrow and move the object in that direction. Now you can see if it goes off, it starts to go dark gray, and you'll get a warning. You do not want to be off the plate, of course. Make sure it's well within the boundaries. Okay, now we're going to show you how the rotate command works in case you need to rotate your object. Click on the object, click on the rotate icon, and then again just click the end of the arrow to rotate whatever degrees you want. Now for accuracy, it's actually much better to just input the rotation in the menu above. So you can just enter it, let's say 90, and then click, and then you get your rotation. Now we'll show you how the scale command works in case you brought your object in and it's too large or too small. Click on the object, then the scale, and it's best here to either put in a scale, a new number, so 120%, and make sure uniform scale is checked so they all scale up evenly. And you can also just enter a size. So if you know a certain size you want in millimeters, then you can just enter that. And again, if it's on uniform scale, everything will scale up accordingly. Okay, the Layon Phase command I actually prefer for rotating objects. Click on your object, and then you want to click on the Layon Phase icon. There you go, and you see another number of light colored patches. Just click on the one you want, the surface you want it to rotate to, and you'll see it'll land on the print bed to that patch. So a Raft is giving a little extra material on the print bed to help your print if it has a small contact area at the print bed. So first we're going to go to the support tab, and then we're going to scroll down to Raft, and we're just going to add 2 layers. And let's just go to preview to show you what that looks like. It's just going to give it a little bit of extra material to give it a good foundation. Okay, so supports are used anytime your object has any overhangs. Now we can see on this SD USB holder there are definitely overhangs. Just get to the side view here, you can see that. You definitely have to use supports. Just to show you what happens, if you don't have supports checked, you go to preview, you will get a warning message. So let's go back to prepare, and let's go to the support tab and just enable supports. Now there's 2 choices. You can do trees or normal. Trees is kind of the new default, and it's the least intrusive. So we'll go to preview again, and you can see the trees. They're not in the letters, which is really good, and they snap out quite easily. Let's go back to prepare and change it to the normal, which is the old school way of doing it, and go to preview. And now we'll just use the slider to show you how intrusive this really is. So it's actually into the letters and inside of them. And as far as going into the A and getting it out of there, you'll never get it out. So tree support is the preferred support now. So now that we've sliced it, we're going to save the file. Once you're in preview, you've sliced it. We're going to put in the SD card. You get this warning. I usually just go continue without scanning. Click on that. One thing you do want to do is you want to delete the old files that were on the SD card, and just do that. And just close it for now. And then we're going to go up to the big green button on the right, click on Export All Sliced File, and click it again to then slice it. Make sure it's going to the Bambu SD card. Click Save. Eject your file. First of all, eject your SD card properly, please. And then it is good if you can go back to the Prepare tab and delete your file so it's not there for the next person that comes along. Okay, we're now going to go to the Bambu printer, and you want to go to the one that you've signed up for. The number's on the AMS material loader. This is Bambu 9. And now we want to take our SD card. And the SD holder is on the top, and you want the label up. You want to gently push it in and let it pop back, and it's going to click. And it should be just under flush. Again, I'll push it in, just gently push it in, it'll pop back and click. And just under flush. Now we're going to go and turn it on. So go to the back, in the bottom right is a little red toggle switch. We're going to flip that on, and the light will come on, and the Carbon X1 is now on. So startup screen should start up. The light's going to go on the inside of the Bambu. Now at this point you want to click on the file manager and make sure your file is there. If it is not there, then you probably turned it on before you put the SD card in. So now you can just turn it off again and turn it on again. Don't touch the SD card. If it then shows up, it's all good. If it doesn't show up, it probably means that you didn't actually write to the SD card. Okay, so again, click on the file folder. There's your file. Just click on it, and the interface pops up. You just want to make sure it says PLAA1. You want to look up at the AMS. Want to make sure there's lots of filament in here. If it's fairly low, make sure there's the same color next to it. And if it's not, because it will automatically switch. If it is, if there's low on filament, contact the tech and he will put a new roll in. So at this point, we just want to hit print now. And when this warning comes up, it just means it's going to be running hot. Just say close to that. The door is automatically propped open a bit with a bracket, so it just allows a little extra air in, so you don't have to really worry about this. So at this point, you can, it's good to hang around for 5 or 10 minutes, make sure everything's underway, there's no new warning messages. And above the stop there, you can see the time, 1 hour and 18 minutes. You can come back at that time or the end of the day to pick up your print. So we're going to look at when your object is finished printing now. We're going to actually first turn off the printer, then eject your SD card, put it back where you found it, and just going to lift the front of the plate. It's magnetic and it should just pop out quite easily. And we're just going to kind of arc the plate to pop your print off. It might just pop out without it, but you can arc the plate and it pops off pretty easily. Now we're going to put the plate back. We want to tip in the back corners, make sure it's all aligned. Again, it's magnetic. So, and then we're going to let it down and it should snap down. You want to make sure both the sides are flush and the front is flush. So thanks for watching, and that's another Langara Makerspace how-to. I hope you enjoyed it, and there is a PDF online that you can view for more detailed information.